everyone, welcome back to my channel. Emily here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these Dollar Tree earth tone decor ideas using clay pots. So you're going to want 3 clay pots, some tea candles, and then these crushed black rocks. Everything is from the Dollar Tree as always. Go ahead and take your pots, set them out, and I'm using these larger black rocks. If you don't have any of those, I would suggest putting some hot glue and plugging those little holes at the very bottom because the crushed black rock will fall right through there. And then I just took my crushed black rock, added that in, and then took the tea candles and go in ahead and push those in, kind of centered them a little bit. That way they didn't want them sticking out too much. And then go ahead and take the rest of the rock and fill the rest of the pots up to the top and push the rocks all the way around the candles just like that. And voila, this reminds me of being in kind of Hawaii when you're sitting out on the deck for those summer nights and things, kind of like a spa sort of feel. I really like the way that one turned out. For this next one, you're going to want these little foam balls, the clay pots, and then moss and a glue gun. So for this, you're just going to take the smaller foam balls, and these are about 1.5 inches in diameter, and take that glue and just kind of spread it all the way around, and then just take the moss and go ahead and press it all the way around. And it's pretty simple, it's not very complicated, but it adds a little bit of like a farmhouse feel for decor and stuff, and I really like it. So once you get done doing all of that, simply take your moss ball and put it inside the pot. And this is how this one turned out. And what I also wanted to do was kind of rough it up and make it a little bit more natural looking. So I took a little bit of white acrylic paint and just went ahead and dry brushed that onto the pot. And the clay, with the clay pot, it does dry really fast. And as you can tell here, you get 2 different looks, but it just gives a nice earth tone to your decor, and I really love it. This next one, you're going to want a bush of greenery, a clay pot, this one's a little bit larger, black acrylic paint, a paintbrush, and some ribbon and a glue gun. So for this one, I just took the black acrylic paint and just started brushing that all the way around. And this one I decided to do a thicker coat on. Now you could do a little bit more dry brushing to give it not such a thick coat if you wanted to. It dries really fast, so you can immediately move on to taking your trim fabric and go ahead and wrap that all the way around. I like to glue mine in the center just so that it doesn't fall or rip off or anything like that. Then take your greenery, and I just like to bend mine in half, that way I can use it for something else later if I wanted to, and voila, you have a really cute green potted plant. And the greenery just adds a really nice feel to your home decor and makes it feel a little bit more fresh. For this next one, you're going to want a glue gun, some twine, some other lighter twine, white acrylic paint, paintbrush, a clay pot again, so a succulent, and then those rocks and crushed black rocks, and some scissors. So just go ahead and take your white acrylic paint and kind of brush it on there. And again, I'm doing a really thick coat on this one, but you can do it very lightly if you wanted to. And if you feel like you have too much, you can always use some sandpaper and sand that off. Next, take a little bit of hot glue and put that on there. Take your twine and start wrapping it all the way around the trim of the pot. And once you have that on there, go ahead and add a little bit of glue. That way that twine holds. And then I decided to take this white twine and go ahead and tie a bow. And I thought it was kind of cute and just made it stand out a little bit differently. And again, it's completely up to you. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. And then I decided after that I wanted to add some letters, so you can just find these in the stationery aisle in the Dollar Tree, and I just went ahead and took those, and I wanted to put something like grow on there. So you can use a succulent if you wanted, real or fake, and then you could also use herbs if you wanted to, and they do sell those there also. So just simply fill those rocks in, put your succulent in, and there you go. You have another alternative for a really pretty greenery to add to your home. But again, I think it'd be really nice for herbs. This next one I've actually done on my channel before, but it's going to be a topiary, but it's going to be a 2-tier topiary. So you're going to want 2 different size balls in diameter, and then a piece of foam for your clay pot. A stick. These were actually from Walmart, but Dollar Tree does sell a little bit thinner ones. And then I'm using brown and white acrylic paint, a paintbrush, and obviously a glue gun, and you want 2 different types of moss. And I'm actually going to be using a knife too. So just go ahead and take your brown paint, and I just did a dry brushing of this all the way on the skewer. Set that to the side and let it dry. Next, take your clay pot and that block of foam and cut it around your pot, and you wanted to cut it a little bit smaller than your pot, and that way it sticks all the way into there. Once you have that, take your small ball and start adding that glue to it with the moss and pressing it on just like we did the foam balls earlier. Once you have those all done, then go ahead and take your white paint and start dry brushing your pot. Sorry, the lighting is a little bit bad here. It got a little bit bright outside. So then I decided to take a little bit of the brown paint and brush that on just so it was really natural looking. Take your skewer and push it all the way down in. It's going to loosen up, which is okay. Next, take your bigger ball and push it all the way down to the height that you think you want it at. And I left about 2 inches between the pot and the first ball. And then go ahead and take your hot glue and place that on there. And then I worked the ball up and down, kind of twisted it that way it would get that glue all the way wrapped around, and then allow it to dry. And I did the same thing to the bottom of it. That way it won't go anywhere. And then you're going to do the same thing to the foam block on the bottom too. So then take your smaller ball and place it on top, but don't push all the way through. You don't want the cone to push all the way through there. And see, you can just see how I'm taking that glue and placing it on the stem so it holds. And then go ahead and take your Spanish moss and go ahead and add it to the bottom. That way it looks obviously more natural looking. And then you have your very own topiary. So you can see how this one came out, the roughness of just doing a little bit of dry brushing. And again, you can always use sandpaper to sand it off. But I really like the way this one came out. If you want to see how to make a single one, it's fairly simple, but I do have a video on that. And I just like the way all of this came out. I think it's very pretty, and you can see how all the earth tones really just bring a nice vibrant green touch to your home. I hope you enjoyed seeing all these different DIYs that you can do with clay pots, and thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day, and I will see you soon. Bye guys!